like heaven. It was my dream come true. I waited 15 years to do it, and it was just like perfect moment.
Well, the first thing, we got on the tour bus going across the street with the headphones on. They start playing "Welcome to My World," and you know, I cry pretty easy anyway. I'm pretty softy, you know. I hate to admit that, but I am. But when that song started playing, I saw those gates, and we're across the street going through the gates. Man, I just lost it, you know. And it's just it's unbelievable, the feelings that go through you, you know. And it's hard to believe all these years later. I still can't believe he's gone, you know. And but we know, you know. But it's just an amazing thing. And then you go out to the grave site, you know. It's just. It's almost more than you can take sometimes, but I wouldn't miss it for the world.
I'm 43 now. I went to the mansion first time I was 14. It was kind of terrifying and exciting in the same way, but on the other hand, I've been through there twice since then, and I don't really enjoy it. I feel like I'm being intrusive, and just out of respect for Elvis, that's the only place in the world he had to be Elvis, not Elvis Presley that we know, but just what his daddy said, Elvis. That's where he got to be Elvis, you know. And I love seeing it. I love looking at it from the street. But unless I got a friend that wants to go through it and ask me to go with them, I don't really enjoy going. I feel intrusive.
I didn't feel like I belonged there. I don't know why. I just is it okay, Elvis? I'm here. Can you hear me, Elvis? Are you here? There's just something about it wasn't right. So that's what I felt like.
I haven't actually walked through it yet, but I walked up to the mansion. We got here early, and I walked around to the where Elvis rests, and yeah, it was just so emotional, so breathtaking. Like you walk in, and Graceland's so beautiful. You can't even describe how beautiful it is. It's
home. It was homey, you know. It was great hospitality, like stepping on there, because you could still feel his presence, you know, when you walk up there, and it was the greatest thing. It just felt like home. It just felt like, you know, he was still there, opening the doors to you and then inviting you in, and just felt amazing, man. For my first time, I cried.
First time I saw the mansion. Well, as a kid, it seemed so big, but yet as a grown-up. It was about 10 years ago I got to go through there, and it's smaller than you think, you know, than when you were a kid. You thought it was so huge, but it really wasn't. But in that time, I mean, it was big back then. I think it's great, man. First time I went to Graceland, man, I spent, I would say, 10 hours. I didn't leave. I was in that place for 10 hours. I set the alarm off. Sitting on Elvis's bed at the Lisa Marie. I sat in his captain's chair. Didn't set the alarm off of that. I shouldn't be telling this. I'm
You're gonna get banned.
I'm gonna get banned. But yeah, I wasn't even a tribute artist when I went to Graceland. Didn't even know anything about that world until Sherry Miller made me do it in Branson in 2007. That's when it was, yeah.
No, this is my first time in Memphis. So we just flew in like 2 days ago. No, yesterday it was. So we were planning to do that tomorrow. So all my friends tell me that I'll be crying when I'm standing by the grave and the meditation garden. So. They're probably right.
Yeah, that was back in '82 when just after they had opened the house up for tours. My mom and dad and I flew down here, and I remember it was just an awesome experience getting to see it. I remember I always pictured Graceland from the photos I'd seen of outside of it. I pictured like this palace thing with these high ceilings and all that stuff, and it was very homey. I mean, it's very ornate. It's beautiful, it's cool. I mean, it's extremely cool. But it just wasn't, it was more homey than I expected it to be, you know. Like, of course, everybody has, gold-plated stuff in their home, but, hey, gold-plated woodwork. But it's very classy, I love it.
You could just feel a presence, and like I said, the chemistry, and it was overwhelming. It was he sat, where he played music, all the many, artifacts over the years and everything. It was definitely a humbling experience to walk through such a legend's home.
The first time was in '97. I was like 15, something like that. My dad passed away that same year, and my mom, she wants to cheer me up, and she took me here to Graceland. We were in New York. We took our Greyhound, like 28 hours or something like that, and that was my first Greyhound experience. So when I get here, I was in shock because I didn't expect to be in the house of the King of Rock and Roll. So my first impression was I was like touching the floor, and oh my God, the walls, and oh, I'm here in Graceland. I can't believe it. So that was like 20 years ago. I remember they having a lot of flags and posters about the 20th anniversary, because I came here in July of '97. So you can see the things around about the preparations, all this stuff.
It's like walking into a castle. It is beautiful. It's got a grand foyer. It's such a beautiful home. It's a gospel feeling when you walk in. You see a big, beautiful peacock. Especially around Christmas time, you see Christmas trees everywhere. You got crucifix on the wall. You've got beautiful furniture, friendly spirit. You feel Elvis there. It's just so peaceful. It's so southern and humble. It's a very humble home.
I cried like a baby. I remember it wasn't a very enjoyable experience for me. So it was 3 years ago when I came, and as soon as I saw the mansion, I just cried. And when I went into the grounds and we actually went into the house, I didn't say a word to anyone. I didn't even listen to the narration on the headphones. I just took it in my own stride. As soon as I entered the jungle room, I broke down in tears. And then when I saw the grave, I kind of became scared of it. I didn't want to go straight over to it. So I had to work my way slowly to it. And I remember I sat there on the step right opposite his grave, and I was there for 45 minutes, and I sobbed like a baby. And the funny thing is, I was listening to my own headphones, and I was listening to Elvis, of course, but always on my mind, I'd somehow turned itself on to repeat. So that song was playing over and over and over. So every time I sing that song now, it always takes me back to Graceland.